Good morning, friends. Today I am here with Fibre to Fabric Part 2 of 7th Standard. In today's session, we are going to discuss about silk, life history of silk moth, types of silk, and from cocoon to silk. So let us start the session. First, it is about silk. Silk is a fiber which is obtained from silkworm, and the rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk on a large scale is called as sericulture. So in sericulture, what we will do? We will rear the silkworm in order to get the silk. Silk yarn is obtained from cocoon of silk moth. Cocoon is one of the stages in the life history of silk moth. We will later on discuss about cocoon. And the variety of silk may be coarse, maybe smooth, maybe shiny. This depends upon the types of silk moth. Which types of silk moth is? Let us see about the life history of silk moth. The female silk moth lay eggs, and these eggs are hatched into larva, which is called as caterpillar or silkworm. This larva or caterpillar are vigorous eater. So they feeds on the mulberry leaves and they grow in size. Then what is happening? The larva secretes fibers which is made up of protein and weaves the fiber around itself, and completely it forms a structure that is called as pupa, and this covering is called as cocoon. So finally this caterpillar is converted into cocoon. The pupa then develops a young silk moth inside the cocoon. Silk thread or silk yarn is obtained from the cocoon of the silk moth. And the most common silk moth is the mulberry silk moth. Here you can see the male and female silk moth. It is about the life history of the silk moth. First the egg is laid on the leaf, then egg is converted into caterpillar which is called as larva, and then this larva is or caterpillar is converted into pupa or cocoon, and finally inside the cocoon the adult silk moth is formed. So this is the life history of silk moth. Here also you can see the life history of silk moth, that adult silk moth, female silk moth with eggs, then eggs are laid on leaves, then eggs are converted into caterpillar, that is also called as larva, and then caterpillar is converted into cocoon, and finally cocoon with developing moth, and finally the adult silk moth is formed from the cocoon. This is about the mulberry tree and the leaves of mulberry. Now let us see what are the different types of silk. There are different types of silk. First is the tussar silk, muga silk, kosa silk, iri silk, mulberry silk. But the most common silk is the mulberry silk. Why? Because it is in most demand also, because it is very soft and lustrous, very good that shiny appearance, and it is very soft. It is also elastic, and this silk can be dyed into different beautiful colors. So that is why this mulberry silk is very common silk. Now let us see how from cocoon the silk is obtained. So first the silk moth are reared and their cocoons are collected to get the silk thread. The first step is rearing of silkworm. Whenever we rear the silkworm, this process is called as sericulture. So female silk moth lays eggs, and these eggs are warmed to a suitable temperature when they are artificially cultured. So the eggs are hatched into larva which is called as caterpillar or silk worm. And the silk worm are kept in a bamboo trays, and inside the bamboo trays lot of mulberry leaves are put. So they are fed on mulberry leaves, so they grow in size. After 20 to 30, 25 to 30 days, the silkworms stop eating. Now what they do? They begin to spin the cocoons. They begin to spin the cocoons. And inside the cocoon, the silkworm develop into silk moth. Now the next step is processing of silk. The cocoons are collected and they are kept in sunlight, or they are boiled or exposed to steam, and then the silk fibers are separated out. This process of taking out of fibers from the cocoon is called as reeling. So what is reeling? It is a process in which the silk fibers are taken out from the cocoons, and this process of reeling is done with the help of machine. Then the silk fibers are spun into threads and finally woven into silk cloth. Here you can see from the different steps from cocoon to silk. Here it is the rearing of silkworm. Now it is about the processing of silk. This in figure you can see that cocoons are kept in bamboo trays, and inside the bamboo trays that mulberry leaves are placed and they fed on the mulberry leaves. Thank you. For any kind of doubts, please write your question in comment section.